Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are opening up a topic that is technically happening inside of you right this second. Whether you're listening to this on a run, in your car, and we're going to talk about why this matters sitting on your couch.
We are talking about the immune system.
Exactly. And, to be honest, before we started digging into the research for this one, I had a pretty specific mental model of what the immune system was.
I think most people do.
We see it as this shield or a wall. It's passive. It just sort of stands there, takes a beating from germs, and if it holds up, great. If it cracks, you get sick.
Right. It's the fortress model. You hide behind the walls and just hope the enemy, the flu, some bacteria doesn't break through.
Yeah.
But the source material we're covering today, Longevity Through Physical Activity by Alexandra Kash, it completely dismantles that idea.
Yeah.
Her core argument is a total paradigm shift.
Okay.
The immune system isn't a wall. It is a living, adaptive intelligence. And the real kicker, you can train it.
See, that's the hook that got me, the idea of agency. That we aren't just, sitting ducks waiting for flu season. We can actually train these cells like we train a bicep.
Exactly.
So the mission for today is to unpack exactly how that works. We're going to look at the difference between your body's grunts and its special forces, why sitting down is essentially kryptonite for your immunity, and the specific sweet spot of movement that acts as an inner pharmacy.
It's really a shift from a mindset of, say, avoidance, just trying to stay away from germs, to a mindset of adaptation.
Building resilience.
Building a system that's resilient enough to handle whatever it encounters.
So let's start with this concept of living intelligence, because usually when I hear intelligence, I think brain, maybe nervous system. But Kash is arguing the immune system is intelligent.
Absolutely. And to really get that, we have to stop thinking of it as a single organ. Mm. It's not like your heart, which is this localized pump, or your lungs.
Right.
The immune system is a massive, decentralized network. It's your white blood cells, bone marrow, lymph nodes, the spleen, and as we'll see later, a huge part of it is in the gut.
It's everywhere. A distributed network.
Precisely. The text calls it the silent winner.
Yeah.
And I love that phrasing because you literally never notice it until it fails.
That's so true.
It doesn't flex. It doesn't, throb like a sore muscle. It doesn't send you a notification when it kills a cancer cell.
Right.
But it is working quietly, scanning every inch of you, every single second.
That is kind of wild to sit with for a second. Like right now, as we're talking, there's a microscopic war happening inside us. And assuming we feel okay, our side is winning.
And if you've ever gone through a winter without getting that cold that went around the office, that was your immune system at work. But here's where we need to get a little technical to understand the training part. The source material breaks this defense down into two distinct tiers.
Okay.
The analogy they use is a military operation, and it holds up really, really well.
I'm always up for a good analogy to make the science stick. So break it down for us.
So tier 1 is innate immunity. Think of these as your first responders, the infantry on the front lines.
The grunts.
Exactly, the grunts. This includes your physical barriers, skin, mucous membranes, but also the cellular soldiers. We're talking about neutrophils and natural killer cells.
Natural killer cells? Scientists really didn't hold back on the naming rights there.
It is an appropriately aggressive name. These cells are fast and they're broad, they're blunt force, but, and this is the key limitation, they have no memory.
No memory at all.
None. They attack anything that looks like a threat instantly, but they don't remember the enemy for next time. It's just shoot first, ask questions never.
Okay, so that's the rapid response team. Crucial, but maybe not the most sophisticated.
Correct. They buy you time. But then you have tier 2, adaptive immunity. If the innate system is the infantry, the adaptive system is the military strategist.
Ah, the ones in the situation room.
Exactly. This involves B lymphocytes, which produce antibodies, and T cells. This system is incredibly precise. It doesn't just attack invaders, it identifies specific pathogens.
And this is the part that learns.
This is the part that learns. It's the intelligence. If the adaptive system fights a specific virus today, it keeps a biological file on how to beat it. Next time that virus shows up,
it just pulls up the file.
Pulls the file, recognizes the signature, and crushes it before you even know you were exposed. This is the whole principle behind vaccination.
So when we say intelligence, we literally mean memory and learning.
Yes. And the revelation from the text, the whole reason we're doing this deep dive, is that How you move your body directly impacts how well those strategists and those soldiers do their jobs.
Okay, this is the part I really want to dig into because I think most people know exercise is good for you. That's not a headline. But we think about burning calories or building muscle. How does doing a squat help a B lymphocyte?
It comes down to surveillance. I mean, you can have the best soldiers of the world, but if they're stuck in the barracks, they're useless.
Right. They can't get to the battlefield.
Your immune cells need to patrol the body to find threats. They need to circulate. But here's the biological catch most people don't realize. The circulatory system, your blood, has a dedicated pump.
The heart.
The heart. But the lymphatic system, which is the highway for a huge portion of your immune cells, does not have a pump.
Wait, hold on. The lymphatic system where the white blood cells are traveling, it has no heart.
It has no central pump. None. It's a passive system.
So how does the fluid move? How do the soldiers get to the front lines?
It relies almost entirely on muscle contraction.
No way.
Yes. When your calf muscles contract while walking, when you engage your core, those muscles physically squeeze the lymph vessels. That pushes the fluid through the system.
That changes the picture completely. So if I'm sitting still,
the traffic stops. The surveillance grinds to a halt. The text makes a massive point of this. Movement helps immune cells become faster and more efficient. It's like increasing the number of patrols in a city.
You catch the bad guys immediately.
Right. If the patrols are stuck in traffic, the bad guys have time to set up shop.
That makes so much sense. You're literally mechanically pumping your defense system. It's manual labor for your immunity.
Exactly. And the evidence cache list is robust. This isn't just, motivational fluff. We see tangible results. Regular movement reduces upper respiratory tract infections. It lowers systemic inflammation, which is a root cause of almost every chronic disease.
And it enhances vaccine response. That one jumped out at me. So if I exercise, my body actually learns better from a vaccine.
Yes, because your adaptive immunity is more alert. It processes the information from the vaccine more effectively. The data shows active individuals have higher antibody counts after vaccinations compared to sedentary people.
So you're giving the strategist a better internet connection to download the file.
That's a great way to put it. Now, there's one more connection here that completely blew my mind. We have the lymph system, we have the blood, but then there's the gut.
Right. The statistic in the text was staggering.
Nearly 70% of your immune cells live in the gut.
70%? That seems so high. Why would the majority of our army be stationed in our stomach?
Well, it makes sense if you think about it. The gut is where the outside world meets your inside world. Every time you eat, you're introducing foreign matter. It's the primary port of entry for potential threats.
Oh, it's border control.
It's the tightest border control you have. And the text highlights that movement improves the gut microbiome. Physical activity actually changes the composition of the bacteria in your gut. It promotes the good guys.
So when you move, you aren't just working your legs, you're stabilizing the headquarters where most of your immune army is stationed.
Precisely. A stagnant body often leads to a stagnant gut, and a stagnant gut leads to a confused immune system.
Okay, so to summarize the mechanism, better circulation of soldiers via the lymph pump, smarter strategists because of better surveillance, and a happier headquarters in the gut, all from movement.
All triggered by simple mechanical action.
Which brings us to the flip side, the silent crisis.
The crisis of sedentary living.
It's the reality for so many of us, right? We sit in cars, we sit at desks, we sit on the couch. The text says we've outsourced movement to machines. That line is haunting.
It is, and it's so accurate. We've engineered movement out of our daily existence. And the consequences aren't just about muscle tone. Inactivity dulls our immune reflexes.
Immune reflexes, what does that look like physiologically?
It's a state of dormancy.
Yeah.
When you're sedentary for long periods, lymph flow stagnates. But also inflammation levels rise. It's a kind of sterile inflammation, not caused by an infection, but by metabolic dysfunction from sitting still.
So the body is inflamed, but there's nothing to fight.
Right. And that creates a constant false alarm. It distracts the immune system. So when a real threat shows up, like a virus, the system is sluggish. It's preoccupied.
Like the fire department is busy chasing a cat up a tree while the building burns down.
Exactly. And you also get gut dysbiosis. Digestion slows, the bacterial balance gets thrown off. So now your headquarters is compromised, your patrols are stuck in traffic, and your alarm system is malfunctioning.
We're just vulnerable, leaving the castle gates wide open.
And we often think of getting sick as bad luck. But the text really challenges us to see how much of it is actually bad preparation.
Okay, so that's the scare tactic part. And it worked. I'm sufficiently scared. Let's pivot to the solution, because I think people hear train my immune system and they assume they need to, I don't know, go join a CrossFit gym or start training for a triathlon.
And that brings us to the most critical nuance in this whole deep dive. If listeners take one thing away, it should be this: not all movement is equal.
Okay.
In fact, the source specifically warns that chronic overtraining, poor recovery, and excessive intensity can actually suppress immunity.
Wait, so I can exercise too much and make myself more likely to get sick?
Absolutely. It's called the open window theory. After very intense, exhaustive exercise like running a marathon, there's a window of time where immune function temporarily drops. Your cortisol levels spike, which suppresses white blood cells. You're actually more vulnerable.
That is so counterintuitive. We associate sweating and suffering with health.
But the goal here, according to the text, is movement that energizes, not exhausts. It should restore, not deplete. We're trying to stimulate the system, not stress it into submission.
So what's the prescription? What's the magic number?
The text cites the U.S. Physical Activity Guidelines. The sweet spot is 150 minutes a week of moderate intensity movement.
150 minutes. Okay, let's break that down.
It breaks down to just a brisk 30-minute walk 5 days a week.
That's it, a walk.
That is it. And moderate intensity is key. You should be able to hold a conversation, but maybe not sing a song. That is the Goldilocks zone.
And why is that specific zone so effective?
Because it's enough to get the heart rate up, pump the lymph, and oxygenate everything, but it's not intense enough to trigger that massive cortisol stress response.
Yeah.
You get all the benefits without the downside.
That feels incredibly doable. I think that's why the book is called The 15-Minute Habit. It starts small. It's about consistency, not intensity.
Exactly. It frames movement as an inner pharmacy. When you walk, your muscles release these signaling molecules called myokines.
Myokines?
They are powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. You are literally manufacturing your own medicine inside your muscles and distributing it to the rest of your body.
I love that concept, the inner pharmacy. We're always looking for the magic pill, the booster, the supplement, but the text basically says your immune system does not need trendy boosters. It needs you to move.
It's simpler than we want to believe. You can't bottle a brisk walk, but the biology is clear. Movement builds resilience at the cellular level.
So let's say I commit to this. I do my 30-minute walks. What's the long-term payoff?
The payoff is longevity, but not just living longer, living better. You're building a body that can handle the world. And the text uses a specific term for this: slowing down immune aging.
Immune aging? I didn't know the immune system aged.
Oh, it ages. It's called immunosenescence. Just like your skin wrinkles, your immune system gets less efficient. Your T cells get a little slower. This is why older adults are more susceptible to infections.
Right.
But, and this is the hopeful part, regular physical activity slows that process down significantly. Active older adults have immune profiles that look like people decades younger. You keep your military strategist sharp.
That is huge. It really connects back to that idea of agency we started with. We aren't powerless.
We aren't. And I think that's the most empowering message here. Health is sustained by intelligent engagement, by doing the right kind of more.
It's a shift from viewing the body as fragile to viewing it as adaptable.
Exactly. Your cells are listening. Every step is a signal.
Let's circle back to something. What if someone is listening and they're stuck at a desk right now? What can they do besides the walk?
Great question. The text encourages movement snacks. Just standing up and doing 10 squats, stretching, bouncing on your heels, anything that contracts the large muscle groups in your legs.
Just to get the hydraulic fluid moving.
Yes. Break the pattern of sedation. If you sit for 4 hours straight, you're pooling. If you stand up every hour for just 2 minutes, you're resetting the system.
So let's recap. Your immune system isn't a wall. It's a living intelligence network. It has 2 tiers: the innate first responders and the adaptive strategists who keep a file on every enemy.
And movement is the engine. It's the mechanical pump for your immune highway, and it's a regulator for your gut health, where 70% of the team lives.
And sitting still is a silent crisis that shuts that down. But the solution isn't to kill yourself at the gym. It's that sweet spot, a 30-minute daily walk that keeps the inner pharmacy open for business.
It really changes the definition of strength, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just how much you can lift, it's how well your body can neutralize a threat before you even sneeze.
Beautifully put. It's not about the mirror. It's about the microscope.
I like that. Not the mirror, the microscope.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with this thought from the text that really stuck with me. We talked about how the immune system is silent. You never feel it working.
Right. The silent winner.
The text says, you may never feel the moment a B cell flags a virus or a macrophage eats a rogue cell, but your body knows. It continues. If movement is a declaration of vitality, what is your body telling your immune system today?
That's the question, isn't it? Every time you stand up, every time you take a walk, you're sending a message. You're telling yourselves, we are active, we are vigilant, we are ready.
And conversely, when we sit for 8 hours straight,
we're sending a message of dormancy. We're telling the troops to stand down.
So the challenge for everyone listening is pretty simple. What message do you want to send to your internal army today? It might just take a 15-minute walk to change the conversation entirely.
It's the best prescription you'll ever get, and it's free.
Thank you all for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you feel a little more powerful and maybe a little more motivated to take that walk.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.